so close to you, baby, but I'm so far away. There's a silence between us, and there's so much to say. You're my strength, you're my weakness, you're my faith, you're my doubt. We gotta meet in the middle to work this thing out. More love, I can hear our hearts crying. More love, I know that that's all we need. More love to flow in between us and take us and hold us, lift us above. If there's ever an answer, it's more love. We're afraid to be idle, so we fill up the days. Run on the treadmill, keep slaving away, till there's no time for talking about trouble in mind, and the doors are all closed between your heart and mine. More love, I can hear our hearts crying. More love, I know that that's all we need. More love to flow in between us, to take us and hold us, lift us above. If there's ever an answer, it's more love. Just look all around us, people fighting their wars. They think they'll be happy when they've settled their scores. Let's lay down our weapons that hold us apart. Be still for a minute and try to open our hearts. More love, I can hear our hearts crying. More love, I know that that's all we need. More love to flow in between us, to take us and hold us, lift us above. If there's ever an answer, it's more love.
My name is Dennis Ashley. I'm the spiritual leader here at the church. But normally, Jeff would be up here as the platform assistant welcoming you. But I wanted to take just an extra minute right here at the beginning. What I wanted to do was to have us take 30 seconds in silence for the two fallen firefighters in Coeur d'Alene, and also for the one who went through surgery and is recovering now. So could you join me in silence for about 30 seconds or so? And so, to the Spirit of God, we say thank you in a way we can hardly understand. But so it is, God. Namaste.
Thank you, Dennis. Good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Spokane. We are grateful to welcome those of you that are here and all of you that are out in someplace in the ethers. We really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the service. We'd always love to see you, of course, here in person, your body and your spirit right here, but we know you're with us today. As our mission statement says, we are a vibrant community growing through spiritual practice and love. Very important. I'm Jeff Hunter. I'll be your platform assistant this morning, and I want you to just take a moment to make sure your cell phone has been silenced. And while you're doing that, I'm going to take a point of personal privilege. We have a couple of longtime Unity members here today. Karen Dunmore, visiting from Portugal. And Marlene Niemeyer, who is much closer now. She's not in Miami anymore. She's in Vancouver, Washington, and her daughter, Lauren, who lives in California. So we're really happy to have you here. It's worldwide, folks. This is worldwide. As always, we want to begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. Think of these words as you affirm them today. Take these words and place them right in the center of your being. Together, there is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. This is Unity's foundational principle. One presence, one power, one life living through and as each one of us. We are so grateful today to have Dennis Ashley speaking with his message, The Explosive Gift of Kindness. Our music today is provided by Scott Jameson and Judy Jameson. You've already heard a sampling of it. I'm sure we're going to hit more, lots more. And in a moment, Jim will share our opening prayer with us this morning. But first, our song leaders will start us off with our community song.
All right, if you're able, please stand and join us. This should be familiar to all of us more experienced Unitics. So here we go. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together. Weave us together in love. Many textures, we are many colors, each one different from the other, but we are entwined with another in one great tapestry. Weave us together, weave us together to unity and love. Weave us together, weave us together, together in love. We are any instruments playing our own melodies, each one tuning to a different key. We are all playing together in one great symphony. Weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, weave us together, together in love. A moment ago, still we did not know our unity, only diversity. Now Christ in me creates a Christ in thee, in one great family. Weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, weave us together, together in love.
Sound check. Hunter, is it all right? That's good. Sometimes the song says it all. As we anticipate Dennis's presentation today on kindness and compassion, please join me in our prayer for kindness and compassion. And as we do, please close your eyes and become quiet and still. Inhaling and holding for 1 second. Exhaling slowly, holding for 2 seconds. And get into that space where we, again, come to know that divine energy is always with us through every cell of our body, surrounding us in the aura that can be measured. Breathing, again, becoming still. And know that divine energy that some call the Spirit of God, Yahweh, Krishna, Buddha, is deep within us, all around us, bleeding into the aura of the person next to us, collectively in this house. And we know that the divine energy we will call the Spirit of God fills our hearts, fills us with spirit of kindness and compassion. So as we breathe, let's feel the white light of kindness and compassion that we then extend to others. And as we feel that glow, we shine that light toward others and all that we will meet on this day and forward. It, again, provides us with feelings and acts of compassion and kindness toward all that we meet, including the world that we see around us, from all the plants and the animals in the cosmic realms and throughout all of our existence. Again, we fill our souls with a feeling of love towards others. And as we experience the feeling, it again helps us to touch others and extend the compassion, the kindness. So as we would say, Spirit of God, please guide us on how to reflect, how to extend pure love to others. Teach us to understand the feelings of others, especially those that are hurting and in need at this time, of which, as we see, there are many. Spirit of God, please show us how to feel love and compassion, continue to show us, as we know we already are, and then to extend kindness. Please fill us with kindness and compassion as we move into the silence. And so let's keep breathing, inhaling, exhaling, experiencing the stillness, and pay attention to your breath as we go into silence for 30 seconds. As we come out of stillness back to the earth plane, again, we are filled with gratitude and thanks for the divine energy that leads us to our feelings, recognizing our feelings of kindness and compassion and living through love, which, as Murray Baker Eddy said, meets all and every need. And so it is. Amen.
you don't understand what a monumental moment this is. I'm running the slides, and I haven't done that before. So, yeah.
Don't screw up. This is going out worldwide.
Hey, I am glad everybody's here, and I did want to talk about the explosive gift of kindness. And isn't that an odd title, when it comes to kindness, the explosive gift? But I think my point in titling it that way is there's a lot of amazing things that happen. I mean, I think it's even bigger, more amazing, more than amazing, because I think what it does is it just changes the game when we use kindness and compassion in just the right ways. And so how what we do is we take a look at this video.
It's just, there's all this pressure, And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me. And I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head. And it's relentless. And I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
No, see, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See, you're
out.
not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just, sometimes it's like, there's this achy, I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. All of them.
That sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you.
Ow! Come on, if you would just...
Don't.
I don't know if you've seen that video before, but I love it. And of course, I do that because it's funny and it's nice to be able to laugh. But at the same time, isn't it interesting, too, that there's a little bit of truth behind that? Yeah, because so often we do rush to fix things. And it's not always what's wanted, it's not what's always needed. I think what happens is we don't spend enough time, in the words of Walt Whitman, we don't spend enough time just simply being curious. We rush to judgment so quickly. We rush to judgment to fix things and to make them better. And a part of us says, well, but they're making mistakes, they're doing dumb things, I have to fix it. That's my role. No, not always. Sometimes. But when we take a look at kindness, and when we take a look at compassion, our role isn't to fix things necessarily. Might be at some point. But the first thing is just to be curious. Just to find out what it is that's going on. To ask questions, to listen, to actively listen. And so, we're gonna look at that today. And so, here's a story that we've all heard before, right? One time or another, the story of the Good Samaritan. And it doesn't matter what faith we come to. I was reading a stat just a few days ago, and it said, this is the most often cited parable in the whole Bible. There's hospitals named after that, right? And there's whole movements, and there's laws about the Good Samaritan Act. So, just to refamiliarize ourselves with the story itself, what happens is Jesus is talking to a crowd, and a lawyer stands up and says, what's the right way to heaven? And Jesus says, well, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to love God. We're supposed to love our neighbors. And the lawyer says, what's a neighbor? And Jesus probably rolled his eyes at that point. And then he began the parable of the Good Samaritan. And what he said was, there was a certain man that was traveling from Jerusalem to Jericho. That's a distance of about 18 miles. And it has about a 2,000-foot elevation in 18 miles, a 2,000-foot drop. And it was a very rocky road. It was called the Way of Blood from Jerusalem to Jericho. And why was it called that? Because when people traveled that way, they often got held up by robbers and often were killed. So it was called the Way of Blood. So this guy is not supposed to be there, right? But he's traveling, and he gets attacked, and so he's laying in the ditch. And so nobody knows if he's alive or dead, but because he was by himself. But what happens then, according to Jesus, he says, first of all, a priest walks by, because rabbis were also called priests at that time. And so he said, a priest walked by, saw the man cross to the other side of the road and kept walking. And then he said a little while later, a Levite came by, which was, that's a holy figure with sort of the clan, the tribe of priests. And so it says that the Levite sees the man, goes to the other side of the road, and keeps on walking. And then finally, Jesus says, a Samaritan happens by. And the Samaritan goes down, heals the man's wounds, uses oil to heal the wounds, bandages him up, puts him on a donkey, leads him to an inn, and says to the innkeeper, here's 2 denarii. Please use that money to take care of him and feed him for the next few days. And if you need more money, when I come back, I'll give you even more money. And then Jesus comes out of the parable and says to the lawyer, which one was acting more neighborly out of the 3 that walked by? And the lawyer, being a lawyer, said, well, what's a neighbor? What's a neighbor? And that didn't really work. And Jesus said, who was acting in a more holy way? And the lawyer says, the third man. Well, isn't that interesting? Because I think in life, and we all know this, I'm not saying anything new, in life, those situations just pop up all the time when we can exercise kindness, when we can exercise compassion. And here's something that was kind of hidden about the story that we don't get today. And that is that when Jesus used the Samaritan as the one who was the good neighbor, the Jews absolutely hated Samaritans. The reason that they hated Samaritans is because what happened is the Jewish people got exiled a couple of times, once by the Assyrians and once by the Babylonians. And every time that they were exiled, the Samaritans didn't get exiled. They hung around, and they did things that they weren't supposed to do. They got along with the conquering tribe, and they did intermarrying with the different faiths, with the conquerors. And so what happened is the Jews came to really hate the Samaritans. And here was Jesus saying, this person who's hated was the one fixing things. This person who's not liked was the one doing good. And to me, I just love that story for that reason. And by the way, let me see if I can do this now. Well, maybe I can't. Is it? Anyway. There's a laser pointer on this thing, but I just couldn't find it. What I wanted to say was, I was going to say Jerusalem is down there by the Dead Sea, 18 miles to Jericho. You kind of see where that was happening. So the story of the Good Samaritan, asks a really good question, which is, when should you be kind and compassionate? And by the way, David and I are going to spend the whole month talking about kindness and compassion. but mostly today I'm going to be talking about kindness. They're obviously closely related, but I think next Sunday I'm going to talk more about compassion. So when should you be kind and compassionate? I think first of all is when people seem to be struggling a bit emotionally. And we can see that sometimes, just when we're talking to people or they tell us their story. Sometimes we can find it very easily when we say, "Hi, how are you?" "Let me tell you." Then you go, "No, I didn't mean it." Yeah, there's times when what we're supposed to do is just listen. Not necessarily fix things, just like the video, right? Don't fix it, just listen. And sometimes that's an extraordinary act of kindness. But I think also, when should we act in kindness and compassion? I think also when somebody's just overloaded. Sometimes they just have too much. It might not be that they're emotionally wrought. It just might be that they just need a helping hand. What a perfect time. And then I think the third thing I'd mention now, and there'll be more as we go along, but I think sometimes just in our interactions with people, they don't always have to be just friends and people that we know. I just think on a day-to-day basis, the person we see at the car wash, the grocery clerk that we see, my wife hates this, but actually sometimes when I'm driving along and the traffic is busy, I will actually let somebody out from the shopping center onto the street. I know. She goes, "What are you doing?" So I think just in our day-to-day interactions, I think that the route to kindness and compassion is something that helps us and helps everybody that we know. Want to do something special? If you want to do something special, I think that what you do is you show kindness and compassion to people who don't like you. Now, I know. Now, Jesus was talking, and what he said was, and this is a translation from the original Aramaic, Jesus said, "Do you love your family and friends?" Big whoop. That's the original Aramaic. He said, who doesn't love their family and friends? Who doesn't treat their family and friends with great kindness? He said, even the worst of us treat their family and friends really nicely. He said, want to do something really special? Treat with kindness and compassion people who don't like you. People who are your enemies. Oh, man, that's a tough one, isn't it? Yeah. Now, there's a few people as I look out here where, okay, nobody could possibly not like that person. But, Jim said, yeah, I know. I think if we take a look at Buddhism, Buddhism says what we're supposed to do is cultivate, grow, make sure that it really happens. Two things. Metta, which stands for loving kindness, and karuna, which means a heartfelt concern for other people. So the karuna, that's compassion. We're going to talk more about that next week. But this metta, this loving kindness, treating people really well, really nicely, I just think that's so important. And isn't that the task ahead of us? When we get there, when with every breath, in every relationship, we're treating everybody with kindness and compassion, especially the people who don't care for us. Wow, what a step forward. I think that's one way that we really kind of heal the world. I think that kindness and compassion go so much further than we realize. I don't know about you. For me, for years, I've thought about kindness, and I think that's a nice thing. It's not bottom line oriented. It's not pragmatic. Yeah, it's a nice thing to do. It's not like it's going to do much to change the conditions of the world, but it's a good thing. I'm starting to change my opinion about that. I'm starting to realize, no, kindness and compassion go much further than we ever realize. I think what happens is that kindness, it changes the other person. Now that makes sense, right? You treat somebody well, somebody who needs help emotionally, somebody who's struggling, somebody who just needs help getting all the work done. It changes the other person. Okay, that makes sense. But what we don't always realize is that when we act in kindness, it changes other people too. I mean, it changes us too. I think when we act in kindness, there might be a little bit of, I don't know, conceit or, oh, I was so cool then. I mean, I helped that person. But over the long term, what it really does is it changes us because it opens up the channels. It makes us more aware of other people and the experiences that are going through in all the different ways that we can help. But here's the one that's really cool. It changes the world. Simple acts of love and kindness. Well, now, just to be, I don't know what it would be, mathematically correct, that's probably not the right phrase. One act, of course it does change the world, but maybe not in any significant way. I think it changes it in significant ways. I think what we want to do is we want to just add as much as we possibly can. So what is it we have to do? Well, here's what we need to do. In an act of kindness and compassion, I think first of all, it has to be real. It has to be authentic. And so the question becomes, well, what if I'm not feeling it? It's not quite authentic then. Well, and the answer, of course, then is, make it easy, make it a simple act of kindness, make it straightforward, and fake it till you make it. Okay? I think we also have to be prepared that sometimes when we act in kindness towards people who don't particularly like it, once in a while we have to be prepared for anger or sarcasm on their part. I remember several years ago when I was down in Salem. There was a homeless person that I drove by every day on my way to work, and it was getting closer towards winter. And I had this nice, big, heavy coat. And I thought, I want to give it to this guy that I see every day. And so I gave him this coat. It was pretty new. He did not receive it in loving kindness. It ticked him off. I just said, you keep it. I just want you to have it. And then I walked off. He ran after my car and threw the coat at me. Yeah. People don't always respond like you think they should. So we just have to be ready to know sometimes that's just simply part of the game. And if we take a look at just behavioral research, behavioral science research, if we wait to feel kind, if we wait to feel compassion before we act, could be that we might wait a long time. So what we want, it's common sense, right? To say, okay, I feel a certain way and then I act on those feelings. It's common sense, except it doesn't really work that way. Research after research says emotions and feelings follow the behavior. You do what it is that you're supposed to do, and then you start feeling it later. And the real world is it's a little bit of both, right? Sometimes the feelings come first, sometimes the behavior comes first. But we never really want to minimize that it's too easy to say, well, I just never felt it, so I didn't act at all. I can remember several years ago I had a church down in Orville, and one couple, great couple, Raul and Diane, and they said, and they were big financial givers in the church. It was great. And they said, but we don't really feel it. I mean, we do it. We contribute a lot of money. And they said, should we wait till we feel it? As a minister, I said, no. But of course, it was that same thing. You do the act first, and then the emotions follow. So the golden rule that we've only heard 137,000 times, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And with the golden rule, what we're really saying is, So what is it I'm supposed to do? What is it I'm supposed to say in any given situation? And the answer, of course, is the golden rule. What do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Say unto others what the words that you would like to have spoken to you if you were in the same kind of situation. Yeah, it's not rocket science, right? Just, be nice, be kind, be compassionate, and treat other people the way you'd like to be treated in the same situation. And so I thought I'd mention a couple pieces of trivia for you. Okay, World Kindness Day is November 13th. Okay, now I'm not saying that we should wait until November 13th to be kind. But it is interesting, isn't it, to say, oh, there's a whole day set aside for that? And so there's the worldkindnessmovement.org. Google it sometime. It's not just this website put up by somebody who isn't doing much. This is a worldwide movement with representatives in most of the nations of the country. Scott's already Googling it.
Follow the QR code.
Okay. So what I wanted to leave you with was this. Could you imagine what it would be like if every world leader acted in kindness and compassion and love? I mean, wouldn't that be stunning? Now, I like to be realistic. And so realistically, I think what would happen is, some people would get there, world leaders, and some wouldn't. And some people would lie, and some people would take advantage of one another. And what would happen if people didn't react to that? Instead, the world leaders kept acting in love and compassion and kindness. I mean, over the long haul, wouldn't that be extraordinary? And I want to boil it down then to us, which is to say, it's love and compassion. It's kindness and compassion that break the chains of judgment. If what we do is act in kindness and compassion and love more often, then what happens is those acts, those thoughts, those feelings of judgment, they start disappearing. It breaks the chains of judgment. It also breaks the chains of separation. Because if what I'm doing is judging all the time, isn't that a powerful separation piece? It says you're there and I'm here, and well, I'm a little higher than you, or I'm a little better than you in this one area. All that does is create more and more separation, but somehow the acts of kindness, the acts of love, the acts of compassion, what they do is they just tear down those walls. It equalizes us all. And so that's what I want to leave you with. Act in love, act in kindness, act in compassion. And so it is. Oh. Well, of course I wasn't going to sit down. Let's take a few minutes of meditation. And even before we begin the meditation, I invite you to put down anything that you might be holding. If you like, I invite you to close your eyes. And first of all, let's just breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in. And as we breathe in, we feel that air fill our lungs. We feel our chest rise. And we take a step further into this quiet moment. We take a step further into the feelings of the Spirit of God that's deep within us, and it surrounds us. Breathing in and breathing out. And this time, let's breathe in kindness. Let's breathe in compassion. Let our hearts and our souls swell with kindness and compassion and love. It fills us to the very brim. We are filled with this golden glow of love and kindness and compassion. We are touched by it. We are filled with it. It is the truth of who we are. It is the truth of what we are. We are love. We are kindness. We are compassion. We are filled in such a way that we can hardly understand. But that love and that kindness and that compassion, it fills us so much that it spills out. And it touches the lives of other people. So let's take that awareness into the silence for a moment. Let's take that act of love and kindness and compassion and feel with it. Just be with it in the silence. Spirit of God, thank you. Spirit of God that is outside of me and all around me and inside of me. Just remind me. Remind us all every day to think and to feel and to speak and to act in love and compassion and kindness. And so it is, God. So it is. Namaste. So we've reached that point of the service. Excuse me, Deanna, this front row is laughing at me here. Security. We have reached that time of the service when we ask you if you would give to us financially. Because what it does is it helps our different groups, it helps the church, it helps the center. So there's some different ways to give. You can text the dollar amount, as you can see on the left there. You can text that amount. In the middle, you can see you could mail it in. And then, of course, you can be online with unityspokane.org. Would you join me in giving our blessing together? I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So, Spirit of God, we do say thank you. These gifts touch our lives, they touch the life of the center, of course. But even more, in that act of kindness, it changes us. It changes the world, and we just know that we're blessed. And so we say thank you, God, and so it is. So it is. Namaste.
Thank you, Dennis, Scott, Judy, and everybody that was involved in this service today. It was a fantastic service. I really enjoyed it. So now we're at this point. This is where Sally says this is her favorite part of the whole service, and mine too. Let's read join me as we say our unity statement. Together, unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know that there is only one power, one presence, and one life. So whoever you are, wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are more than welcome here. We love you. It's all about love. So if you're a first-time guest today, you're lucky, because we have a welcome packet for you that includes a free drink at our barista stand. Yay, baristas. And it has other goodies in the bag too. If you feel comfortable and you want to raise your hand, if you're new today, visiting or new, trying us out, our ushers will bring you a packet. Do we have anybody that's new today? All right. Welcome. Nice to have you here. There's one back here too. The guy that's losing his hair. Oh, sorry, maybe you gave it away. I don't know. So, we're glad that you're here. We hope you enjoyed the service, and I hope you'll stay after and have some treats with us and visit. We encourage everyone to sign up for our e-newsletter to learn more about upcoming classes and events that are here. You can sign up by scanning the QR code that you see on the screen or through our website, unityspokane.org. We'd also like to connect with you on the various social media platforms. Just search Unity Spiritual Center Spokane to find us. And again, I want to thank you all for being here today and for those that are watching on the web. Our chaplains today are Diane, who's been holding the service in prayer for us at the back, and Cheryl, who will be available to pray with you right up here in front of the sanctuary after the service. If you have something heavy on your heart, if you have a joy, if you have anything you want to share and talk about, please avail yourself of the chaplains. It's a wonderful program here. You can also request prayer by filling out the slip that's in the seat pocket in front of you. I think it's pink. And you can fill that out, put it in the prayer box. It'll be prayed here with our chaplains for 30 days and also sent on to Silent Unity and prayed there for 30 days. Prayer is very important, the key. Now, news you can use. I left Joey at home today. You remember, if you were here last week, I had my little monkey friend, Joey. Well, Joey's taking the day off today. He didn't want to come to church. And so I said, fine, that's okay. But he wanted to tell you, don't forget about the Jungle Safari Spirit Camp, August 4th to 8th. It's a day camp, 9 to 12. It's going to be fantastic. Fantastic. It's $40. Scholarships are available. Talk to Deanna. So, kids, your grandkids, your neighbor kids, any child that you really cherish in this world would have a great experience. So we have 9 or 10 already signed up, and we're looking for 25. So talk to your friends, drag the kids in off the street. They'll love it. Kids Camp Service Project. This is part of Kids Camp. Now, this is cool. I didn't know about this till this morning. The kids at our day camp are undertaking a fascinating service project. They're collecting supplies to support over 300 kittens currently in foster care through Scraps, Spokane County Regional Animal Protection Service. What kind of supplies are they collecting? We're asking you to donate kitten formula, bottles, heating pads, kitten canned wet food, or kitchen scales. I'm bringing a burlap bag. Well, I'm allergic to cats. I'm sorry. No, that was a joke. You guys, I'm not that cruel. Well, I don't know. So, it really was a joke, you guys. Kind of. If you want more details, again, who do we see? Deanna, or talk to Joan Breckley. Hot August Nights. Don't forget that Hot August Nights is going to happen on Friday, August 22nd, 5:30 to 7:30. If you haven't been to a Hot August Nights before, it's a summer potluck with a Hawaiian theme this year. Bring your best dish, yard games, rock out to the music. It's really lots of fun. It's great fun. Unity Way of Life class. We're holding a class called the Unity Way of Life. It's a 3-hour session where you can learn more about unity, its beliefs, and how it values every personal journey. You will learn about the history of unity and New Thought, our 5 fundamental principles, and unity's approach to prayer and prosperity. It's Saturday, July 19th from 9:30 to 12:30 here in our chapel, and there's a cost of $25. It's taught by Sally Sledge and Reverends David and Donna McClure. Now, you can't get any better than that, folks. See any of them for more details. And we're creating a new fundraising team. If you'd like to be part of it, please talk to Jim Sledge or Terry Lewis Sander. You'll find more details on these events, links to sign up, and many more opportunities in our e-newsletter. Next Sunday, Dennis Ashley will be speaking again, and our music is by Dakota Moses and Scott Jamison. Now it's time for our Unity trivia that was included in our e-news. The first question was, what years did Unity publish? At one time, Unity published the longest-running children's magazine in all of the United States of America. Now, I'll find a gift. Who's the first person that can yell out the name? Who said We Wisdom? Well, Jesus. I thought we'd have a game on it. It's We Wisdom. All right. How long did Unity publish it for? I bet it's up there. Yes, there it is. You can read it. Well, that's really a lot of fun. Gee. All right, let's keep going. All right, it's time to welcome in the kids. It is so nice. We have a wonderful Christian education department here. Lots of kids and wonderful adults who work with them. We bless these adults and the children. Guess what, kids? First Sunday of the month. Who can tell me what's waiting out there for us? Birthday cake. Okay. Kind of a quiet group today. All right, today, July birthdays. Me and my wife. So stand if you're able, if you have a birthday in July, or raise your hand. Not too many. All right, are we ready, Scott?
God danced the day you were born. The angels did the bump on Gabriel's horn. God danced the day you were born. So grateful for the gift of you. God danced the day you were born. The angels did the bump on Gabriel's horn. God danced the day you were born. So grateful for the gift of you.
Happy birthday. All right, let's get some energy going and let's do our children's blessing. Together, be the love you are. Sing the song you hear. Share your joy of life with people far and near. And don't forget ourselves. Here we go. Be the love we are. Sing the song we hear. Share our joy of life with people far and near. Okay, find your family or find whoever you came with. And if you are able, please stand for our prayer protection and the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And that's the truth.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace.